Welcome into the Chiefs Report, and today's show is presented by Magic Spoon. Guys, I keep telling you about this cereal because it's absolutely fantastic, and it has changed my life. I've gotten back into the breakfast game with Magic Spoon cereal because it's high in protein, 0 grams of sugar, and it's absolutely delicious. You can as well. MagicSpoon.com/Chiefs. That link is going to get you $5 off at checkout. We'll make sure to put it in the comments and down in the description. Shout out to everybody who submitted their questions. Let's go ahead and jump on into it here. PS4 VR, the new frontier, asks, has the Chiefs' win ceiling or floor changed after 2 weeks? I think it's going to go down by a few wins if this defense can't reinvent themselves. The defense doesn't need to reinvent themselves. They just need to get back to the fundamentals. You got to win more at the line of scrimmage. They got pushed around by the Baltimore Ravens. There is simply no doubt about that. I still think this is a 12-plus win team. The extra game this year, obviously. I think the absolute floor is probably like 11-6, and I still think the ceiling is 14, 15 wins. I mean, this team is still going to be probably favored every single game for the rest of this season because it's a very, very good team. Now, Steve Spagnuolo's got to figure some things out on defense. You need better play from your defensive tackles, which we'll talk about more later on in this show. But I think he's earned the opportunity to help get this defense back on track, and I think it will be. Just give it some time. This team will be just fine. They lost by 1 point on the road against a good team on Sunday Night Football in a game that they should have won if they don't fumble the football late. It happens. This is still a 12-plus win team. Fill in the blank for me. The Chiefs will win blank games this year. We'll just talk regular season. 1-1, 15 games to go. How many games will Kansas City win in the regular season? Go ahead and get your predictions in. Monkey Mayhem is next up. When will Willie Gay come back, and how much will his return impact the Chiefs' run defense? A lot of questions about the defense, which I certainly understand coming off that brutal showing against the Baltimore Ravens. The earliest he can return is in week 4 because he's on short-term IR, which means you have to miss at least 3 games. So he's missed the first 2. He'll miss this week against the Chargers. Could return as soon as week 4. By all accounts, his injury was expected to be a shorter one, so I'd say there's a pretty decent chance he does play in that week 4 game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which would obviously be a big help. And I think he would make a difference in the run game. He was making progress late last season. He looked good in the preseason as well. Getting him out there will only be a good thing, especially because Ben Neiman, he just ain't it. He's a good backup, but he's not a starting caliber linebacker. So hopefully he returns against the Eagles in week 4. Like I said, he won't play this week against the Chargers as we kind of look at the upcoming stretch here. Week 5 against the Bills on Thursday Night Football here in a couple of weeks. And then, of course, on the road against Washington and the Tennessee Titans. A lot of good running teams coming up here with Philadelphia and Tennessee, especially, and Washington's a team that likes to run the ball with Antonio Gibson. So hopefully Willie Gay Jr. gets back and he can line up next to Nick Bolton and Anthony Hitchens and get this run defense back on track because that game against Baltimore, that was a disaster. I think it's a little bit of an outlier with the way the Ravens play as well. Before we jump into our next question, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. It's 100% free. We'll continue to plug out videos every single day, whether it's the latest Chiefs news, rumors, mailbags like this one, more videos all year long. We'll have a week 3 preview as well, either on Wednesday or Thursday, probably on Wednesday this week. So subscribe, make sure you check that out, and we'll keep you guys up to date with everything going on with the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, our next question from Jackson Mainsheen. That's my best guess at that name. Let me know if it's wrong, Jackson. What is the best way for the Chiefs to improve their run defense? Once again, kind of building on the last question. I'm actually going to say better defensive tackle play. Jarran Reed has not given this team much through 2 games this year. Derek Notty's been okay. I might be tempted to play Tershawn Wharton a little bit more, see if he can give you a boost. I will say this, and I think this is where Steve Spagnuolo made an error. Clearly, Chris Jones is mostly playing defensive end, which is fine. But in that matchup against the Ravens, where they're running read option 90% of the time, asking him to seal the edge, that's not really playing to his strengths. I think he should have kicked him inside for that game more and worked in Michael Dana, Alex Okafor a little more at defensive end where they're more natural run defenders at that spot. I think that was a mistake, but I think more interior presence from your defensive tackles will help, and you need a stronger push as a whole from that front 4. I think this group will continue to play better as we move forward, but you can't play much worse because they got absolutely pushed around by that Ravens offensive line. What did you guys eat for breakfast this morning, guys? It's the most important meal of the day, so I'm just curious what you guys were munching on when you woke up. Maybe you skipped breakfast. I think that's a bad idea, but let us know. Say whatever the meal was, or if you didn't eat breakfast, just say it didn't eat breakfast. I was in a hurry, whatever the case may be. Spam the comments with your breakfast this morning. What I had was Magic Spoon cereal, and that's been my go-to recently because I don't have a lot of time in the morning to, go into Chef Harry mode and get, a bunch of eggs on the fryer and all that good stuff. So I've just been pouring a bowl of Magic Spoon cereal because, hey, it's high in protein and it's good for me. Quick bowl, slam that, and then boom, I can get my day started with a nice little workout. Then I come to the office and I'm ready to film videos just like this one. Go check them out and go try all their different flavors. Natural flavors, by the way. They've got cinnamon, blueberry. I'm a big fan of the cocoa flavor as well. We got the peanut butter right here. You see the frosted on screen also, but this peanut butter, man, that's been my go-to recently. MagicSpoon.com/Chiefs. Get $5 off when you check out with Magic Spoon. That link is down below, MagicSpoon.com/Chiefs. You can check the comments and the description as well. Okay, next up, Jamil. Would you take a look at Geno Atkins? So I mentioned you need better defensive tackle play. I'm definitely not opposed to working him out, bringing him in to see what he can bring to the table. I don't know if he's an upgrade over one of your starters, though, or something like that. Obviously, he's had a great career. Played really well for about a decade with Cincinnati. Last year, he was kind of phased out of their rotation during the year. Only had like a couple of tackles for whatever reason. They didn't really play him a bunch. Still a free agent. 2019, he was okay. 2018 and before, though, he was fantastic. But you're talking about 2.5 years since he's been a really, really good player. Again, there's no harm in working the guy out, but would I, just sign him out of the blue and just expect him to give me a major lift? That's probably asking a little bit too much. But if you think you need help on your defensive front, then a guy like Geno Atkins could make some sense. Should the Chiefs sign him? What do you think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Again, never opposed to signing players. Work him out, see what he can bring to the table, and then you go from there. So give me a Y, give me an N. Let me know if you guys think the Chiefs should sign Geno Atkins. All right, Smitherson gets the final word on today's mailbag. I believe this is the last question. Should the Chiefs start Rashad Fenton over Charvarius Ward? And yes, this is the last question. I think Rashad Fenton deserves a shot. I think he deserves an opportunity. He has not gotten hardly any playing time. It's all been special teams play, and Charvarius Ward continues to get cooked on the outside. He was bad last year. He was good 2 years ago, but for the last year plus now, he has not played like a starting caliber cornerback in the NFL, and that is pretty disappointing. Every time Rashad Fenton gets into the game, he makes plays happen. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why he's in the doghouse, but you look at Ward's PFF grades through 2 games, and again, they're not everything, but those bottom 2 stats, that's not even a PFF thing. Quarterback rating when targeting Ward for other teams, over 111. Yards per catch when targeting Wards, he's given up 22 yards a catch, guys. He's been bad. There's no way around it. I get it. It's only 2 games, but why not get Rashad Fenton some snaps? Because Charvarius Ward has been an absolute disaster through 2 games. He's been even worse than he was last year, and he wasn't good last year. So I don't know what it is about Ward. Spags must really like him for whatever reason, but I would certainly at least rotate Rashad Fenton in, see if he can make some plays, because every time he's gotten into the game in his short career, he has made something happen. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Who should start? Type RF for Rashad Fenton, type CW for Charvarius Ward. I'd like to see Fenton get a shot, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. RF, CW, what do you guys think on this one? I would go ahead and start RF. Appreciate everybody who submitted their questions. We'll do another mailbag soon. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I am Harrison Graham signing off until next time here on the Chiefs Report.